Mike Neville is a retired Scotland Yard Detective Chief Inspector and joins me now. Mike, from what you've seen of this, do you think it'll work?
No, what concerns all the time, Pete, is what do they mean by extremism? Because if you look at Prevent, for example, the organisation where you should report people to if you suspect they're involved in terrorism, only 10% of the referrals there, and a lot of these come from school teachers and the like universities, is about Islamic terrorism. And that is, as you've identified in the report, is the biggest threat. So too often people who hold views about mass immigration and whatever else, things that me and you and the rest of the viewers and listeners would think that's pretty standard stuff. Often people who say views like that are condemned as extremists. So I'm really worried that this may be an attempt to crack down on what they call the far right, which is often really what most of us would call common sense. If it does stop extremist terrorists talking, then that's a good thing. And I think the bizarrest thing I did pick up in the article in the Telegraph is that the United Arab Emirates has restricted funding for its citizens to come to Britain because they're concerned about the influence the Muslim Brotherhood has on UK campuses. It's quite incredible, isn't it, that a Muslim state, the UAE, would do that.
Well, it does say a lot. I remember the story at the time, and this was earlier this year, that the UAE did that, introducing stricter rules because of concerns of the influence of the Muslim Brotherhood, which it has prescribed. The UAE, United Arab Emirates, has prescribed the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organisation. We have not, Mike. We haven't prescribed the IRGC, the evil Revolutionary Guard in Iran, nor have we prescribed the Muslim Brotherhood. Neither of those things has happened. Priti Patel, I interviewed her just about 10 days ago, the Shadow Foreign Secretary, and I put to her and said, why on earth did you not prescribe the IRGC when you were Home Secretary? You could have done that. She said, the context has changed. I don't think the context has changed that much, actually, and I think that's something we should do if we really believe, if the government really believes that Islamism and Islamic extremism is the biggest threat to community togetherness. Prescribing those two organisations would strike me as a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Why haven't they been done? It's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it, that the United Arab Emirates would be talking to Britain like that. And you only have to watch YouTube to see various Muslim leaders in these countries saying that the West is stupid, not prescribing these organisations. And so we need to listen to the people who are really aware of the threat. And those are people who are in moderate Muslim countries like the United Arab Emirates. We should be following their lead and listening to their common sense.
When you look at universities particularly, how much of a concern do you think they are to the police forces and to the forces of law and order when you see so much of these, you know, we can see something on the screen there, there's someone named Israeli State Terror, this is a student group, lots of these different organisations on campuses. How much is it, are universities the epicenter of this, do you think, and education being a major part of this?
Well, the young have always been radical, haven't they, and very left-wing causes, and this is obviously going to be a hotbed, and more now we see that academics, how many right-wing academics are there, you know, who are teaching these young people, and people say to me too often, these universities are telling people what to think rather than how to think, and there's a constant barrage of left-wing activities, and it's tragic to see the anti-Semitism in our universities as well. So if we are going to smash these wicked things that are trying to poison people's minds, that's a great thing. But as I said at the very start, Peter, I just fear that they'll just be used to shut down debate from people who are centre-right politicians and broadcasters.
Yeah. Mike, listen, thanks very much. That's Mike Neville there, who is the retired Scotland Yard Detective Chief Inspector.